Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. This is Till the End of the Line. I am Juan G.
Giga T.
All right, and we just wanted to first off start off by saying thank you to everybody who has liked and subscribed the page and showed us support. We really appreciate it. We got a few followers now, so we're establishing ourselves. We want to thank you guys for coming back, episode 2. And so today, Kike, what are we going to be talking about?
We'll just touch base with a little bit in the beginning of movie releases, shows on Disney Plus, trailer updates, and then we'll break down into a little bit of the episodes of She-Hulk. And then after that, we'll wrap up with a little bit of what we thought of that new Wakanda Forever trailer.
Yes, that was good stuff. Okay, so go ahead, tell us a little bit about She-Hulk.
We'll start with news first. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
What news did you have?
As far as like the list of TV shows coming up.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Through the end of the year and until next year at least.
Yeah. So right now we have, of course, She-Hulk, which is still in its mid-season, I would say.
I think there's 2 more episodes left.
Yeah.
I believe it's supposed to be 9. We're finished 7, so 8 should come out tomorrow, and then 9 next week, Thursday. And then that should wrap it up. Still waiting for the appearance of Daredevil.
Yes, I'm sure he's coming soon. So the next ones we have are going to be Invasion, Ironheart. Armor Wars was slated to be a TV, but we just got news that it is now a movie. So that should be interesting.
Don Cheadle, all right.
We had the shorts, the I Am Groot shorts. They're kind of funny.
Oh, those are cute.
I just love the fart sleeves. That's
super
amazing.
cute.
And then we have the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special coming out.
That's right. Forgot about that.
Yeah. And a bit shows that we've had so far: WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, What If? That was a good series.
Great.
Miss Marvel. Thought that was a really good show. I thought they did really good with that. Like the actress.
Eager to see how that ending happened when they flipped with Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I'm really looking. I think they're probably gonna dive into that in the movie, The Marvels.
Yeah.
So excited to see that. Also, we had Hawkeye right before She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Hawkeye is phenomenal. I think that was the show I was waiting for the most to see, just because I'm a fan of Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And I really liked how they brought in Kate Bishop, future Miss
Young Avenger.
Young Avenger, future Miss Gonzalez Hailey Steinfeld. I thought she did a great job. I thought she embodied Kate Bishop. I also like how they're starting to tell some of the smaller stories in the MCU with these TV shows. It's kind of
like the street level.
Exactly. Not able to tell more stories than just the Avenger level stories, or
right,
the main
or
hero.
cosmic level.
Exactly. So and so then and also Moon Knight.
Oh,
Moon Knight was really
which
good.
was such a great series. Yeah. Yes. Oh my God, one of the greatest. And I think they'll allude to a little of that with Bast being like the deity with Black Panther, where they deemed that energy. He's like kind of like a Moon Knight was the avatar of Moon Knight.
Yes.
Khonshu. Yeah. So Bast is the deity from Black Panther. So it's also like another. That's why who the Black Panther kind of gets his powers from. He gets it from the herb, and they say the herb got its power from Bast, the like another Egyptian like cat deity,
right?
Like a panther,
right?
I kind of think that's what Namor's power is gonna source from, because in the trailer,
he's mutant though.
He's a mutant. Right? He's half mutant and he's half Atlantean. Okay. So the mutant side comes from him. Well, no, he's half human and half Atlantean, but the mutant gene comes from the human side.
Correct.
So it'd be interesting to see if they make his character Namor another avatar of the Sky Serpent, which is what in the trailers he's like drawing, and then he wears the helmet.
Yeah.
Tukuklan, I believe, is the avatar that he might be donning. So it'd be interesting to see if they tie all that in, because that's how you could tie in Moon Knight.
Right.
You know what I mean? All these different deities having avatars. It'd be pretty cool.
Okay.
So, but we'll leave that for another day.
Yes. Yeah, we're going sidetracking a little bit, which we often do. So yeah, that's what I got. So as far as TV shows, you want to dive into a little bit of She-Hulk?
Yeah. So She-Hulk was. Some people were really excited for it. Some people aren't so excited for it. It was created by Jessica Gao, and then we have quite a few big names in there: Mark Ruffalo, Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk, Mark Ruffalo obviously as Bruce Banner, Jamila Jamil is Titania. And then Benedict Wong seems to be the new Nick Fury of all this phase and
really
popping into everything.
I think whenever Marvel needs a cameo, they're like send in Wong.
Yep, send in Wong, exactly. And then also reprising his role as what the heck is his name? Not General Ross. I lied. Tim Roth reprising Emil Blonsky as Abomination.
Yes.
So a couple big names, and then actually Megan Thee Stallion did an episode.
Loved her appearance on the show, dude. That was awesome.
There's a little sorcery and trickery in the beginning,
yes,
and then the real one popped up at the end. Nice little end credit scene. That was pretty cool.
That was fun.
But then of course it's produced by our Lord and Savior Kevin Feige.
Yes. We are not worthy. We are not worthy.
But outside of that, it's kind of just a general. Who made it? Who's all in it? And we're still waiting for Charlie Cox to actually show up in it.
Yes, he's in the show. Yes.
IMDb said 6 episodes, then 3 episodes.
Unfortunately, he is only slated for 1 episode.
I know.
He was interviewed saying that.
We
would have. Yeah, I know. I think because you know what? I think they don't. Number one, they don't want to take away from She-Hulk.
Right.
They also don't want to kind of like spoil it for Daredevil Born Again, which will be coming out.
Right.
So I think they want to save it for that. Right now, we're just gonna get a little tease of it, a little taste of it. But then later on is when they're gonna really dive into it. What are your thoughts of the new suit, the yellow red?
Oh, I know. I mean, well, it's the original suit.
It's classic comic book, right? Yes.
Suit, correct.
I like it.
I like that the helmet still looks very similar to the Netflix series.
Yes.
So I wonder if they can still tie in the same guy that created his suit. In there,
I don't think so because the one who created it now is that fashion like icon guy, the one who made She-Hulk suit.
Right. So, but what I'm thinking is like, because we're Daredevil's in New York, and right now we're in California.
Correct.
So if when he might have multiple tailors. Like, hey, I'm gonna be in New York. I need this guy. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Not that. I'm
a West Coast tailor.
Yeah, I did a West Coast and an East Coast tailor. But at least that's a way for that's why they did it, so that they can tie in who that person is making the suit. And
also kind of a bridge between She-Hulk and Daredevil, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think that was the easiest way to make a bridge. He was already making a suit for her, like business suit, and then we have yet to see the actual She-Hulk.
Yes.
Suit. So that should be interesting.
I wonder if she dons it meeting Daredevil, like. Well, we already see her wearing it, but I wonder if that's the first time we see her in it.
Yeah, and I wonder why their interaction happens. Hopefully.
That's what I was wondering too, and I'm wondering is we don't know yet the story of why She-Hulk's meeting Daredevil,
right?
But we could know why Jennifer Walters is meeting
as a lawyer,
Matt Murdock,
right?
Because maybe they have a case together. Maybe he's the opposition, or maybe he's just like, hey, I got this case. It's made its way to you.
Right.
This is my history with the case. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We could go that way because. Is Matt Murdock? Is he a lawyer?
Defense attorney.
Yeah, but is he defense attorney for like gifted people, like people with abilities?
He does help those, but I know that's kind of been Jennifer Walters.
That's not his niche, right? That's
not really
like where he not like Jennifer Walters,
right? But he did defend Spider-Man.
Yeah, he would have had it went to court, right? Yeah. Right.
So if she's in part of the superhuman law division, it could be just a small consultation. That's the easiest way to go with it.
Yeah.
But honestly, I feel like they might not meet eye to eye in the courtroom, and then meet eye to eye as superheroes, in their alter
vice
egos.
versa.
Yeah. And I think he might be defending somebody that she's trying to put away.
That's one way to go with it. Yeah.
And I think maybe Kingpin could be one of those people. So Kingpin, we don't really know if he died. And now we know he's not because he's supposed to be in the Daredevil Reborn.
And Echo, correct?
And Echo, right? Yeah. So in the Echo comics, Echo shoots his eye out.
Oh, it's another show coming out. Echo,
yeah. Oh, that's right. He gets his eye shot out, which is what it seemed like at the end of Hawkeye. Mm-hmm. And then he rehabilitates. He gets his eyes back. I'm pretty sure it's a synthetic eye. The guy has all the money in the
Thor
world.
style?
Yeah, something like that. And then he's like back to full force. But it's happened before where they thought he was dead. He got shot in the face and he didn't die. So he can be either being locked up and then they can say he was an experiment, like, Emil Blonsky and all this weird stuff. So there's a lot of weird things that can happen with the money that he has. I think he could be working with the Power Broker, which we've seen in Falcon and Winter Soldier, played by Agent 13. What's her real name in the show?
It's something Carter.
Sharon Carter.
There we go.
Yeah. Peggy Carter's granddaughter.
No, Peggy Carter's niece.
You're right. Yeah. We don't know if Peggy had kids with anyone, right?
Well, she did with the in the first timeline where her husband was from one of the guys that Steve saved in one of the platoons that Steve saved. She did have kids with him, but we don't know. For as far as we know, he just married her and that was that.
Yeah.
Is there any comic book lore of Steve having kids?
Not with her though. Not that I remember.
It's with Black Widow, isn't it?
Yeah, there's an alternate it's the next Avenger comic, and then they made a cartoon out of it too. Ultron wins and becomes like a World of Ultron, World of Metal, and so Tony's still alive and Bruce is still alive, and they hide the kids, and it's like the daughter of Thor.
With Jane?
I don't know.
No, okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it might be Sith. It might have been Lady Sith, but either way. And then T'Challa and Storm have a kid, and so that one has
interesting.
Yeah,
I like that.
Still the electrical base, being able to use the
but with cat-like
reflexes. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of cool. And then there's Black Panther or Black Widow and Captain America have a kid, and he's kind of a badass.
I would imagine.
Yeah, like the super spy soldier that's just down for super agile, can flip through anything.
Yeah.
And then he has this cool we see Coulson use it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like a holographic shield.
Oh yes. Okay.
That's what his Captain America shield looks like.
Oh nice.
And then he can launch it like a blade, and it'll cut through things.
So it's tangible.
Yeah. Oh. And then it just regenerates again, another one. So he can throw multiple.
Oh, so it doesn't come back to him.
No. It just hits and then disintegrates. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Speaking of Sith, can we just touch on Thor: Love and Thunder for 1 second? Because I wish Taika Waititi, who directed it, I wish he had done this because it feels like such a Taika Waititi joke.
Okay.
Do you remember when? Spoiler alerts for anyone who hasn't seen Thor: Love and Thunder. If you haven't, pause this, go watch it, and come back. It's on Disney Plus. When he gets to Lady Sith. And then he's like, "Oh, well, your arm's gone." She goes, "No, just leave me here to die. I'll go to Valhalla."
Right.
He's like, "Well, technically, you have to die during battle
to go to Valhalla."
He goes, "So your arm is probably in Valhalla." Now, cut to end of the movie, and when Jane walks in, I swear to God, I wish he would have did this. When it pans to see Valhalla, I wish we would have just saw Lady Sith's arm laying in Valhalla,
or walking,
No, just dead, just laying there. In Valhalla, though. I feel like that would have been such a good joke. Just a little...
Or they could have did the Addams Family, the little hand.
No, okay, see, no, that's going too much with it. You know what I mean?
I thought that'd be funny.
That would, but I feel like just having her arm in Valhalla, it's such a missed joke, dude. Such a missed joke.
Yeah, it's a missed joke, but I think for writing purposes, they maybe didn't do it so that they have some... Thor said this, but it wasn't true. Because sometimes they say things, then they kind of have to retcon it. And there's a lot of rewriting around this one certain phrase.
Fair enough.
So I think it would have been hilarious. Absolutely. But I think as a producer for them, I think that's what they did.
I just don't think they thought of it. I honestly don't think. Because the main part of that is Jane getting to Valhalla. I don't know. This is something I just thought of. I thought it would have been hilarious.
How about Idris Elba? He said he was done with superhero movies, and then he's done 4 since.
I mean, when that check comes, dude, that'll change anybody's
that Marvel
money.
Disney money.
Exactly.
Change anybody's life.
Anybody. Well, did you know? Well, in Infinity War, when, was it? No, Avengers. In Avengers, when Thor goes into the pool and he has the vision, or was that Age of Ultron? Age of Ultron.
Oh, it is Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. When he has that vision, originally they wanted Loki, but I think because of scheduling conflicts, they couldn't get him. So then they got Idris Elba to come play Heimdall.
Heimdall again, right?
Yeah, and that's why he was in there. So, like I said, I don't know. I think I'm sure it has to do with money.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure he still has a contract that he's working through, you know.
Would he though? Because he's not a main character. He's not a.
True. Well, actually, now I know they said that they're not signing because of how much money Iron Man or Robert Downey Jr. made. I think they're not signing anyone down to like very long contracts.
Well, Feige. Yeah, I read an article saying Feige said that they're stopping that because they don't want people. They want whoever plays the characters to be excited about the role.
Want to.
Yeah, and excited about the project.
Right.
They don't want to lock people down for multiple movie deals and stuff like that because they want that authenticity to the role,
right,
and that enthusiasm.
Exactly.
Which I don't see them having issues with.
Right.
I guarantee you, there's people that will hands down love to do the parts that are in Marvel. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, like Elizabeth Olsen, she's like, I'm ready to sign a long-term contract. She's like, but they don't do that no more.
Yeah, right. So
she's so sweet when she like sneak diss people. She's so hard to get mad at her.
Yeah, exactly. And, all right, so let's get back to She-Hulk. All right, so we got to do it. The review of She-Hulk. We're not going to do per episode because we'll get lengthy.
Right.
But as a whole, as a show, how many stones would you give She-Hulk?
Right now, because the last 2 episodes were just so much of a filler episode. Mm-hmm. It had some content in there, but it was like right in the beginning or like right at the end. Mm-hmm. I'd have to say 4 stars out of 6 stars.
Stones.
Stones.
Mm-hmm.
4 stones.
4 Infinity Stones out of 6.
Or it could be gems, because originally they were called Infinity Gems before they were just stones.
Okay.
That's another nugget for you.
Well, MCU were their stones.
Yeah, I would have to say a 4 out of 6. Mm-hmm. I think
it's a solid assessment.
Yeah, CGI could be a bit better. She doesn't look.
I don't see it being bad.
It's not bad, but it makes it feel more comic booky, which is cool.
Okay.
So she looks, dorky like a comic book, and she's able to break the fourth wall. So I like that aspect.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
I mean, there's episodes that start with her talking to us, in the fourth wall. Actually, almost everyone does.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
I think everyone did. Yeah.
And then, in between, the episodes, she'll like turn. She'll look at us and talk, and that little banter when she was talking trash, and then it looks like Bruce kind of was like, who is she talking to?
Well, yeah, Bruce looked at her, and then she was like, she stopped looking at the fourth wall. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, I would have to agree. I would give it 4 out of 6. I think the thing I don't like is that I think some of the fans or critics, more than anything, were kind of let down with the show or upset with the show, maybe disappointed because everybody hears Hulk, they think action. So right. they're used to Hulk smashing and just going all out, right?
Wrecking stuff.
Right, exactly. But here's the thing: it's She-Hulk. She-Hulk's number 1, not Hulk. Mm-hmm. Number 2, she has more control over the Hulk. I feel like than Bruce does. Maybe Bruce has it more now.
Oh, yeah.
But also at the end of the day, it's a law show.
Yeah.
In its essence, it's a law show. It says She-Hulk, attorney at law.
Right.
So I feel like the people that are... And it's also her origin story.
Correct.
Origin stories are all out, action-packed.
Correct.
Cap had a lot of dialogue in it.
Yeah.
With the exception of Black Widow, she had a lot of good action in that movie.
True.
But it wasn't... Oh, no, that wasn't origin story. Never mind.
Yeah.
Iron Man didn't have too much action in the origin story. Thor didn't until the end. Yeah. So I feel like this is an origin show, so it's like the first season. So I think they're really just trying to establish Jennifer Walters and She-Hulk. Now the action that they do have in it, do I want more? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I feel like it could go a little bit more into the action on the action parts? Absolutely.
Agreed.
But as far as a show, period, I think they're doing a great job. Tatiana Maslany is doing an excellent job with She-Hulk. I'm happy with it. Yeah. I think it's a solid show.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool that you were talking about how she has a better grasp on her Hulk personality versus now Bruce finally does. But one cool thing I was thinking about it the other day when what was she talking? The last episode she was just talking to us. I think in the very beginning, that montage of her like dancing through her house or whatever. It made me think about Hulk can see the astral projection of anybody. So like when Stephen Strange and like there was a comic and a cartoon show where in Hulk form he was able to see ghosts and entities, and he can see Doctor Strange produce his astral form, separate himself from, I think, as either a zombie or some type of possessed form. And they were able to, fix things and save whatever the conflict was.
Okay.
And I wonder if, because Jennifer Walters can also see between the fourth wall, I wonder if she can also see entities.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm bringing to that, remember when I was talking about earlier how Bruce looked back and he's like, "Who are you talking to?"
Yeah.
Maybe he can't break the fourth wall the way she can, but he can see who she's talking to, because he can see that alternate realities, and not realities but alternate dimensions. He can visually see those realities.
I didn't get that. I don't think that he was looking at us. I think he was looking at her because he heard her talking.
Right.
But she wasn't looking at him, so he was just like.
But when she breaks the fourth wall, no one else is supposed to hear her say that.
Or know that she's looking at the wall or whatever, because it's supposed to be kind of like internally. Isn't it?
So because Bruce and Hulk are merged now, Hulk is helping him see that other side. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
So, cool little nugget.
Here's my thing on She-Hulk. So why I think out of the gate she was able to just talk regular as She-Hulk. And correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe you know this from the comic books, but because Bruce's blood got on her cut in the show, and Bruce had already established that Professor Hulk, right, or Smart Hulk, because he had already got there in his Hulk form. Do you think because of that, that's why she was able to do that, or is that just her genetics that she's able to do that? That was my explanation.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
The accidents were different though. So Bruce was exposed to gamma radiation. He shouldn't have been killed. But he wasn't infused.
So maybe that's why he has to evolve to it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. His was more of an organic, just like...
His body's reaction
to it, trying to save himself. Just so happened he had, a small mutation in his DNA to adapt to it and then create the Hulk personality.
And how cool that that's the... What is it? The Banner? No, not Banner. It's just the genes of... Well, yeah. It would be the Banner genes. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
And then, in some way, shape, or form, it's some type of a mutation. Maybe not mutants, but a mutation of some sort. Because I think that's how, which will lead into where I think this is going with the intelligentsia. Why the leader just got really smart. Because he had a gash on his head. The blood got in. And it was more of an infusion, just how Jen Walters was. Instead of it being an explosion and like an explosion happening and him just kind of reacting to it. This was more of an organic.
And then that's also why the leader didn't become a Hulk, right? Because he doesn't have that Banner genetic form. Okay.
It just mutated his brain.
Right. So, and then the leader's also going to be, from what I read, that he's going to be the big bad in Captain America New World Order.
Yeah.
Which I also found out we're getting a new Falcon, and he is a Latino.
Yeah, he was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He was.
The guy who was working with the suit on.
Yeah, he used the suit with him.
That's him.
And so he re-engineers it, and then he takes it off.
Dope.
Yeah, that's
I like that.
They're staying with the same actor too.
Sweetness.
Yeah. So when I seen that, I was like, oh, that can be something.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when he gave it to him, he just kept the shield, really.
Oh, right. Yeah, he just goes back to pure Falcon.
Right, and then Wakanda sent over the new Cap Falcon suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the original Falcon suit belonged to the government. It didn't necessarily belong. There were some like tweaks and upgrades done by Tony, but but not. It still belonged to the government because also Tony signed over a lot of his property to the government with the whole Civil War Act and and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah.
All right. So that is She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And let us know what you guys think about it too. Give us your, Infinity Stone rating, if you will, because I know there's emojis, so you guys can use that. We don't have the graphics set up yet. We will. Trust me, we're working on that. But we want to hear what you guys think. Just let us know in comments. Tell us what you guys think. The more interaction from you guys, the better.
Exactly.
We loved to hear your feedback and for you guys voting on today's episode. We really appreciate that.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
What do you think, and what other MCU properties do you think She-Hulk's going to tie into besides Daredevil, which is the obvious one?
I think it was a possibility for her to get into Avengers.
Okay. That's everybody down the line, especially with Secret War.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, honestly, you could, because of her superhero law division, I feel like she can tap into anywhere and everywhere.
Where were you most eager to see her besides New World Order and Reborn Again?
Honestly, it wasn't something I was like, oh, I gotta see her here. I gotta see her. If I see her, cool. If not, all right.
Okay. I have a place I want to see her. I want to see her interact with Deadpool because of their whole breaking the fourth wall.
Both of them could break the fourth wall, which would be 8 walls.
Technically,
yeah. So, but they could both do it together and talk about it. So, like, hey, you could do that too.
Yeah, and they could be the new meme where, like, you know, Spider-Mans are pointing at each other. They'd be like, "Did you just break the fourth wall too?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That would be awesome. Yeah.
That's just
you know what? Yeah, now that
it can be really funny. It can be really, really funny, and they hook up in the comics, so it's a possibility.
Now that you say that, I'm on board for that. Here's my thing. I don't know if they touched on it yet, but. Are they going to have Tatiana Maslany She-Hulk be the same as the comic book in where She-Hulk just starts running through the guys in Marvel? I wonder, dude. Like, maybe not as like intimate and detailed as the comic books, of course.
I mean, okay, so what ships have we seen in the relationships? What ships have we seen besides... So, Wanda and Vision, which is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Cap and Peggy.
Tony and Pepper.
So, yeah, Tony and Pepper. Gamora and Peter. MJ and Peter.
Mm-hmm.
But those are like...
Those are the core relationships.
Yeah, they were supposed to happen. They were always supposed to happen. Right. I mean, we haven't really had the... Well, I mean, now Deadpool and She-Hulk are those people that are... Well, no, that's a lie. So, Hercules is quite the player.
Right.
Quite the player.
Right.
I mean, it's Hercules. He's a good-looking guy.
Right. Demigod.
And he kind of runs through, some of the MCU
as he would
females.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Disney would allow Marvel to go down that route to show a little bit more of
that is a little bit more
sexuality, I guess, or more. Yeah, I guess a little.
Because I mean, she could potentially do that with each show she like guests on. You know what I mean? Like they could just either say it or just hint at that it happened.
But I guess they did establish that she was looking to be swept off her feet, not as She-Hulk, as Jen, and then she did have that incident with that one guy as She-Hulk. Yeah. So I mean,
by the way,
they did make it. Unfortunately, they did sexualize her a little bit, but they still talked about how she didn't want to be seen that way, with showing like dignity and stuff like that. So it was nice to see that, and she's like, "I'm not proud that I'm doing this," and it makes the account.
Yeah.
But I think there's room for it. I can see it happening.
Yeah, like I said, maybe just not in detail.
Right.
Hints was like, so how was Daredevil, or what I mean? How was Deadpool? But I'm sorry, but that whole when she made that profile, the mean green straight poured into these jeans. Mm-hmm. Dude, I love that line.
That's the name of the episode.
Yes, yeah.
It's the name of was it Mean Green episode 5?
Yes.
Episode 5.
Dude, that was the best line, and I'm like, I just love that. I love that it's that type of humor.
What is your favorite episode so far?
It's I don't know. I like one a lot. And maybe just because of the length of the episode. Okay. And then that last little liner of Captain America. And then they cut. You know what I mean? I think I like that a lot. And and I think it was that episode. Yeah, the court case episode.
Oh, where
she's having to interview the guy she dated, and then the drunk chick comes out with Wongers. You know what I mean? That she's always calling Wongers.
Oh, yeah. I think
was that the same one? No, that was the magic episode when they were suing the magic guy.
That's my favorite.
That is that one? Yeah. So it would have to be between the first one and that one.
No, they weren't suing the magic guy. They were suing. They were in court rebuttaling.
They were doing a cease and desist on him to stop using the sling ring.
Yeah, but that's not why the guys were in the courtroom.
That was a different episode.
Yeah,
I mixed them. Yeah. The one I was talking about is the magic one, and then it's a tie between the magic one and the first episode. I can't decide.
Magic one for me because it opened one and brought it back in Wong, Yes. and then we got to see another dimension open up with that one guy, with Johnny. Was it Johnny Blaze? No, it's not Johnny Blaze. It's Donnie Blaze. Donnie Blaze. And it was like I think it was a play on names for Johnny Blaze, which is the Ghost Rider.
Right.
And then he did the portal. He opened it up. But it showed at the end that goat talking to what's the girl's name?
She called him Jake, right?
Jake, right, right. But what's the female name?
We'll just call her drunk chick.
Yeah, the drunk chick. Yeah, and she was she made a deal. She's like, whatever, I can't talk about it. I was gonna kill my family. Like that's the closest allude that we've had to the devil, being in the MCU.
Who's also
Mephisto.
Yes.
I didn't want to say it because other people have been wrecked for it.
But that name has been thrown out there since WandaVision.
Yeah.
So many people thought he was going to be the big bad in WandaVision. Turned out to be Agatha. Yeah. And they've been hinting at him a lot. And I think She-Hulk was our first MCU hint.
Like actual hints. Yeah.
Yeah.
To where they're like, Mephisto. Hey, the devil, you made a deal with the devil. And the only other devil in the MCU is Mephisto.
Yeah.
And, our friends at other podcasts and stuff like that, they've talked about it. There's one podcast in particular that one of the guys, he really, really dove into it, and he was like, I swear, it's going to be this guy. It's Mephisto confirmed. And then, like you said, it did turn out to be that.
Yeah, yeah. So many people were doing that, yeah.
I didn't want to say the M word.
Do we have any leads as to who will be playing him?
Oh, no. Well, who do you think could play him? Long,
I don't know, because I don't know too much about Mephisto. So I don't want to.
I mean, he could have popped up in a couple of different stories already. He could have been in the person that Peter went to inside of Doctor Strange. So to make the entire world forget who Peter Parker was.
Yeah.
In the comics, that was the original version. So after the Superhero Registration Act, Civil War, the first Civil War happens. He takes off his mask and everyone knows he's Peter Parker, but created a lot of problems and trauma for him.
Right.
So then he ended up going to Mephisto, making a deal with him to get everyone to forget, but it came with a sacrifice, obviously.
Right.
So he could have showed up there. WandaVision, he could still potentially show up in Agatha.
For sure, easy.
What else? Any of the Doctor Strange movies, now with the third movie, him going into the dark dimension with Dormammu's niece, was it Chloe? Chloe's her name, I think.
Okay. Which is his wife, right?
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange's wife in the comic, correct? Yeah, she becomes like the Sorcerer Supreme of like the dark dimension. So
with Charlize Theron.
Yeah, Charlize Theron's character.
Oh my gosh,
it'll be fun to see all that. But yeah, there's a lot of properties where you can really pop out into and maybe even play a role in like Secret Wars. If I'm,
Well, you touched on it a little bit with Spider-Man, with that whole spell. So everybody on Earth we know has been established that everybody doesn't know who he is.
Right.
Now, I think I was reading something that said that spell was specific to Earth.
Some people say that.
So people outside of Earth, i.e. Thor, Guardians, all of them still know who Peter Parker, Spider-Man
anyone
is.
Floating in the orbit.
Yeah, Nick Fury was off-world. They even said it in the movie. Miss Marvel, or I'm sorry, not Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel.
Correct. Yeah.
She could possibly still know. She literally talked to Peter before, so she knows who he is.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's still potential for people to know who he is as far as superheroes anyway.
Kevin did say there is one person in the MCU that still know who Peter is.
Okay.
And I think
you have theories on this.
I think it could be the Hulk because he's not affected by any magic.
Well, that was in the comics, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hulk was the only one who knew.
Yeah.
But now, is it Hulk that knows, or does Bruce Banner also know because of Hulk?
Well, now because they're merged, they could play that both of them know.
Okay.
But the way to go, I think, is to say Hulk, have him Hulk out, lose control of his Smart Hulk to lead into the World War Hulk movie, if that happens, or at least a series or something, Yeah. I think that can be the way to go. Him losing control of Hulk again. We still don't know why he went back to Sakaar. So he's been MIA since he flew off.
I wonder if they're going to touch on that in She-Hulk, maybe the last episode.
Yeah, Bruce Banner's supposed to be still make one more appearance back in there.
Okay.
So he'll be back. So I can only imagine that would be like the final end credit scene, because I don't think they can do Charlie Cox, bogus like that, and not have him be in at least for like 10 minutes or 5 minutes or something,
Oh yeah. No, he's definitely gonna be the whole episode.
I think so too. But since Bruce was in the first couple episodes, I think him leaving, coming back, and then explaining why he's been gone, because she called him, left voicemails trying to get a hold of him when she was in need of like a helping hand. He was non-responsive because he's off-world.
Well, they did say that he went to Sakaar to help fix some things. Yeah.
It could be his son.
What?
Scar? Yeah, his son Scar. So like,
do you think MCU is gonna introduce that? Though?
It could. Why not? I mean, why not? He was on Sakaar for a long time as Hulk.
2 years.
Well, 2 years in human time, but because of where Sakaar is at, Loki was at Sakaar for 2 weeks, and before Thor arrived, and they both went through different wormholes. So time works differently through those wormholes.
Oh, okay.
So on Sakaar, that could have been 40 years that we don't even know. You know what I mean? And he could have had a whole family or a child or knocked some girl up. And as Hulk and other warriors and gladiators that were there, and Bruce Banner have no recollection of that.
No, that's true. Oh, wow.
That's why the Collector is so young, because time works so differently there. He's, centuries and millions of years old.
The Collector?
Oh, not the Grandmaster? The Grandmaster,
oh,
right.
Okay.
They're brothers. The Collector and Grandmaster are brothers.
Really?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay. That's where Secret Wars and Battle World kind of come from, too. The Contest of Champions. Okay. So have you seen the little game?
Yeah, I have it.
The game is fun, but in the comics, they have a Contest of Champions, and they gather their own champions, and they put a team together to fight. And they have heroes and villains on one side, heroes and villains on the other side, and they're kind of forced to go on this all-out war. That's where the Contest of Champions kind of comes from.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But the Collector and the
Grandmaster?
The Grandmaster, they're the ones that kind of put that together to see like who's the better guy, but they're both like super duper old. Yeah, they're both super old.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I think Scar's coming. But that's where World War Hulk comes from, because his family dies, and some things happen on Earth, and so he comes back to Earth and wrecks.
Yeah.
So he kind of loses it, and he wrecks the Avengers, and
that's an interesting storyline. I wonder if MCU will go there. I doubt it, but it'd be cool to see.
I think it'd be great to see.
For sure. All right, what else we got?
We just talked about a little bit of the episodes.
Wrapped up She-Hulk a little bit.
There's 2 more episodes. Where do you think these things are really gonna? What do you think the final episode's gonna turn out to be?
So I think it's gonna definitely have to deal with the leader.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably gonna establish him in that episode. Definitely tying in why Daredevil's there. That's all I can see. And Hulk coming back.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, Intelligentsia. There's the whole website, the whole almost
Who
like
put
a 4chan.
that up? Yeah.
And then we see that the character that she sleeps with, what's his name? Todd.
Oh,
no,
right.
Todd. What is his name?
The guy that she met at the wedding.
Yeah.
Who seemed like a really good guy.
He seemed too good to be true. When I seen him, I was like,
And then boom, find out he's working for the leader.
Well, I don't know if he's working for the leader or if he is the leader.
Twist.
Well, maybe not the leader, but like the main guy. Oh, not the Hulk King is what it says, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So the Hulk King, if he's that person working for the leader.
So here's the thing with that. The leader wants Jen Walter's blood, correct?
Yes.
Why?
To be smarter, stronger.
To figure out their vulnerabilities and stuff?
I'm sure. Or
create his own?
Yeah. Easily.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the reason why you want that power. That's why Blonsky took the power.
Correct.
That's why Little Steve took the super soldier serum, because he wanted to do good. He had more of a pure heart.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the whole super soldier serum came from Bruce Banner's Hulk fiasco, right? Weren't they trying to do the super soldier, and that's how Bruce got exposed to Gamma?
Yeah. So like,
that's what I'm saying.
Technically, so how there's Weapon X, which is who Wolverine is,
yes.
right? And then Deadpool is 11 technically.
Okay.
Number 1 is honestly it's debatable, but it can be Red Skull or Captain America. Because what's the Eric Einstein?
Right, that was the first. Red Skull was the first. I don't know if you call it successful, but it was the first one that actually worked.
Yeah,
but
with some side effects,
heavy side
loss
effects.
of nose, and red face, and
complete facial dysphoria. But
that's
but my whole
he didn't
thing
hear
is,
that at the end of the commercial when they read really quickly all the symptoms that you can have.
Yeah, that's what they read the list. They're like, so you might experience some redness. So here's the thing though. But that's what I'm saying. When the German professor or scientist, when he perfected the super soldier serum and gave it to Steve, isn't that what Bruce Banner was trying to do?
Recreate. Yeah, General Ross was trying to get him to recreate it. Correct.
Right. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So then Red Skull would be the first super soldier. Yeah. Okay.
But
Bruce Banner was one of the people trying to recreate it.
Yeah. What is that scientist's name? Now it's gonna bug me.
That's just German scientist. Let's put German scientists in Captain America, right?
Amir Erskine.
Okay.
Or Abraham Erskine.
Which they didn't really say his name in.
Dr. Erskine is what they kept saying. They didn't say.
Oh,
Abraham.
right.
Dr. Erskine, yeah. Played by Joseph Reinstein.
No, Stanley Tucci.
Oh, that's the alias. That's his. His other alias. Oh yeah, Stanley Tucci. You're right.
Yeah, the great Stanley Tucci, dude.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. I really like him in Easy A. He's sarcastic.
Oh, the dad.
Yeah, as the dad. He's
bisexual
hilarious.
dad. Yeah, that was funny.
And then in Burlesque, I think he. Yeah, he is in Burlesque. He's like
Dude,
the tailor.
It's Stanley Tucci. Man.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He's phenomenal in everything.
True, very true.
I'm a huge Stanley Tucci fan.
Okay, so we think he's trying to create more Hulks or more superpower beings on his own. That's why I think the intelligentsia, Madam, what's her name? Madam Hydra, the character that shows up at the end of Black Widow and gives the name of Hawkeye.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
Yeah, her character. She's trying to pull together the Thunderbolts.
She's called Madam Hydra?
In the comics, she has another.
Was it Valentina or something?
Yeah.
Or somewhere other?
Valentina.
Like 4 or 5 names.
De Negro, something like that. She's a long name. But in the comics, she does become Madam Hydra at one point. Okay. I don't think they'll go the Hydra route right now. Mm-hmm. At some point, they can, and she can.
And she's assembling
the Thunderbolts.
Right. Which we've already established that
it's gonna be a movie.
Correct. And Yelena is the leader. She's the cap of the group. And then they're gonna have Red Guardian. Let's do the run through. Taskmaster. This
Winter
guy.
Soldier.
Winter Soldier. The guy who took over for Cap in U.S. Agent.
Yeah, U.S. Agent.
U.S. Agent.
John Walker.
Yes. And then who else is? I think that rounds it up, right?
I think we're missing one more person. They need like a Hulk figure, so I'm assuming Abomination at some point. I think. That's
no. Abomination is the other one. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because they need like a wrecking ball, and they need the smarts. Mm-hmm. So they don't have a tech guy. I wonder who that tech guy could be.
So the Thunderbolts are essentially, what I've heard is they're the Suicide Squad of Marvel. Because they're not the bad guys, but they're not the good guys.
They're all anti-heroes.
Yeah, there it is.
So they can be heroes and they can be villains. They've had their days.
Which, you know what I mean? Winter Soldier is a prime example of that.
Right. Yeah. I think he's full-blown like hero now. Just more of an aggressive hero. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Punisher. That'd be nice. Who do you think in the MCU now can take down Punisher? Not super powered.
That's a good freaking question.
Like, I don't see maybe Yelena at the best because she does have some small like superhuman abilities.
I don't know, dude, because Punisher can get brutal at points.
He's relentless.
Maybe Winter Soldier?
But he's enhanced.
But he doesn't have superpowers. It's just strength.
Yeah, he's like
So if you're talking about just straight up no powers, just like...
Yeah.
Dude, that's a nice
I guess all of them do, technically.
That's
all of them on the Thunderbolts have enhanced strength. Yelena does by the Black Widow. They have their own little serum. Helps with their...
But that's not strength.
Yeah, but they're like peak human conditions.
Yeah, crazy agile and all that stuff.
Same thing with John Walker because he took it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
And that's why I think the power broker and intelligentsia and then the leader are working together because they're trying to take the blood of She-Hulk to create another super soldier serum.
Okay.
That's where I think that ties in because in Falcon and Winter Soldier they had the blue vial and that's what they were looking for was that.
Right. Well, let's ask them. What do you got? Who do you guys feel could, I don't know, stop or take down Punisher? 0 superpowers.
Yeah, Netflix Punisher.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's the well. Okay,
they have other movies. Yeah, exactly.
John Bernthal's my only Punisher. Yeah, so let us know, guys. Comment that, message us. Also, guys, if you guys have any ideas about episodes or takes on what we said or whatever, DM us, comment on our Instagram or on the YouTube, whichever you guys want to do. Let us know if you guys want to give us ideas of upcoming episodes. We'll be more than happy to read those comments and take those into consideration. So yeah, I mean that's a great question. I didn't think of that.
Maybe that could be for our fun episode.
Yeah, that'd be good too. Nice. Or just to see what they say and kind of go off of that. Alrighty.
I think we're basically close to wrapping up. I think the only thing I want to talk about is that trailer, Wakanda Forever trailer. Yes. Oh man,
so good.
Still very heartfelt, to see their funeral in the beginning.
Yeah.
Pay tribute, but we finally get to see what we think is Shuri in the suit.
Oh, you know it is. Yeah.
Oh, but you don't know. Like,
it's a female, and it's the only one who could take that mantle. It's gonna be. It is.
I don't think she's the only one that's gonna wear the suit in the movie.
Who else could do it?
She might be the last person, and then finally take on the mantle.
But doesn't it have to be somebody in their lineage?
Yeah, but
it can't be his girlfriend.
Why not?
Because she has to be from the royal family, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the Black Panther is the. We're talking about the Panther suit. We're not necessarily talking about being king or queen of Wakanda.
Right? No, I'm not. I'm talking about the Black Panther suit. It doesn't have to be somebody from the family.
I don't think it's established, but
unless they challenge it on the day.
Yeah, there you go. So if.
No, dude.
Do you think that's what Namor's doing? Challenging for Wakanda?
No, not at all.
I'm not sure. I just don't know. I like how they use his wings. He was able to dart left and right. Yeah. Well, he's always had them. And we saw them in the first trailer when he was a baby coming out. But now we have to.
Wait, those are on him?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought those were just like things he puts on.
No, like that's him. He was born that way.
That's his legs.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. He's like juking and stuff in the air.
Yeah, he like stops and so imagine like trying to hit him like with the Wakandan weapons and shoot the blasters and stuff like that, or even trying to target him if he's flying in the air with an aircraft. Like he's a pain in the butt to hit because he can dart left and right easily.
Yeah.
Versus like any man-made tech like Ironheart. She can only maneuver so much. She when you saw her take off, she has the foot repulsors that will help her like balance, and that's how the nanotech. He had that when he needed to catch up to the spaceship to get to Spider-Man, to get to Peter. He had he's like, I put everything I got in the booster, and then he created that big jet within his feet. You know what I mean? But like, it takes the seconds for that to either the nanotech to react to create that, or it takes better maneuvering with the whatever suit you have to be able to like balance yourself. Because in the first couple Iron Mans, he was like. Steady like this, and then he built the other things in his back to kind of help him balance out, where he can able to use his hand freely.
Yeah.
But you could only do so much with technology. When it's natural and organic like that, you can dart through. Like it gets kind of scary,
Yeah, I think that's why he was the best movement he had was that bleeding edge suit.
Yeah.
So the I think the big question for me is if in Ironheart's suit. If her AI is gonna be Robert Downey Jr.
I hope so.
I seriously hope they do that. I think that's the best way to bring him back if they are gonna bring him back.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. I'm really looking forward because I'm reading the Ironheart comic book right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with her. I know the TV show is probably gonna do a little bit more in depth with her. But as far as Wakanda Forever, I'm looking forward to see because we already see footage of her building it and her flying in it and stuff like that. They have that shot of her face in the suit.
Yeah.
Just like
cutting out the heart.
Yeah, yeah.
Heart reactor.
So I'm interested to see what they're doing with her.
Who do you think the big bad is?
That's what I was gonna ask you. Is that because we don't know? Because we know Namor is not.
I don't think he is. He's like we were talking about, like an anti-hero right now. I think he's protecting his land. I wonder if the passing of T'Challa, Chadwick, is his character passing. Now them not having a protector, somehow has.
Namor steps into that, or what?
So whoever was attacking and the Dora Milaje was there to stop them, and they were like dressed as scientists, and then they flip out of costume, and then they start defending that area. Whoever's invading that, like submarine type thing, like that. I don't know. It's like a building, but it's above water, and then they were diving under. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So, and then the Dora Milaje pop out, and they start protecting it there. I wonder if, like, the surface dwellers is what they call them, or like us as humans, are invading Atlantis. And because because Wakanda didn't protect them, maybe they had like a secret pact where they're helping each other. And Namor might initially attack thinking they broke the pact, not knowing that Black Panther has passed.
Okay.
And that the mental.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in the what scene is it? You know, they're looking through the window where like the throne is at, and then the Queen and Shuri are standing there and they're looking out. In the reflection of the mirror, you can see Namor grab his spear, turn it to go like this. Like he spins it in his hand so that he can stab the mirror, and he's like, you can see his body you can see like chest high, and him like flip his spear so that he can smash the window. And I think that's where we see all the water flooding in. In previous episodes, or not episodes, but trailers. So I think he initially does attack, and when we see him fighting, and then we see M'Baku in the air too with his thing attacking at some point. I assume he's attacking Namor. I'm pretty sure Namor's gonna probably lay him out. But then there's that also cool dialogue where M'Baku's saying that they don't call him general, they don't call him king, they call him Tutu Kuklan, which is the deity I talked about
the
earlier.
Sea serpent, right? Or something
yeah,
like that?
The sea serpent, and I think he'd be an avatar of that serpent.
That makes sense.
That's why I think that, because he's.
I like M'Baku's new suit too.
Oh
his
yeah,
armor. Yeah.
And he's like.
Beating
his chest with it. Yeah,
that looks pretty dope.
Yeah.
So what I do like that they're gonna be doing with Namor is they're gonna make him very Mayan and Aztec influence.
Nice, yeah.
Which I really love. I like that they're delving into that a little bit.
Yeah. Not going the full Atlantean route.
Right.
And I think it's to stay away from DC, honestly. Because
they've got.
I think Aquaman was a great movie.
I agree.
I really do agree. I think Arthur Curry. Arthur Curry. That character was played really good by Jason
Momoa. Yeah.
But I think he was too comical in the Batman vs Superman and Dawn of Justice.
League.
Yeah, Justice League. Yeah. Wasn't he in another movie too? Maybe not.
Just Justice League and.
And then the Snyder Cut. That's why I said okay. Yeah. But they're the same movies basically.
Yeah.
So to see him there, I thought he was going to be too comical to actually pull off being
a solo film.
Yeah. And I think it worked fine. I think it was like an underwater version of Black Panther. I think it's one of their more successful movies.
Yeah, I see that.
But it doesn't really tie into anything else. It's just a good standalone movie.
Well, it's his origin story, so so it was a good origin story overall. Yeah.
So I agree. I think they want to stay away from Atlantis and all that, so that.
Which is, I think, a smart idea.
Yeah.
And they want to establish him as his own character, not like, it's Marvel's Aquaman. Like,
exactly. But at least they did say that he is a mutant, which is great. Great to know that.
So it's starting to look like they're starting to bleed into mutants more.
Oh yeah.
In the MCU.
A lot more.
So and then Namor is who Okoye was talking about in Endgame, right? To Black Widow, that there was a tremor.
Whoa, Black Widow asked.
Yeah.
That's why I also think there could be a pact between them, because she's like, I handled it by not handling it.
Right.
So maybe they just know, hey, they don't do any of that. They don't just nothing. Like it's
He's taking care of
it.
Yeah,
he got it. You know, that's none of my business. You know,
like, that's his territory. Yeah,
exactly.
That's his territory. Yeah.
So that's what I think, and that's why. Because when they said that, I was like, oh, Namor. It has to be Namor. Who the heck else is? Or it could have been this celestial birthing, moving around, some type of movement. Tiamat? No, not Tiamat. Is it Tiamat that comes out?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I feel like if it was, because they would have talked about his head coming out of the freaking ground too.
Well, they did in She-Hulk.
Right. But I'm talking about an Endgame. They would have said, oh, there was a tremor there, and then we got a head popping out with a hand.
Well, Celestials happen after Endgame.
Oh, okay.
So maybe there was some movement of him.
Oh, yeah, because they talk about Endgame in it. Yeah,
they
talk about it when they brought him.
Maybe there was some movement at first, some shift of some plates because of it growing. And
I'm going to stick with it being Namor.
Namor? Yeah, me too. Yeah. Agreed.
Right.
That's 1,000% what I thought.
Especially when they just came out with that so close to Endgame.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what that is.
And I mean, we knew Namor was going to come at some point. Right. He was in Iron Man. Yeah, when he's sitting at a table like this, and then they have the big board, and it has the world map on there, and then in Africa it shows like a superhero powered, and then in the middle of the ocean between North America, South America, and Africa, in the middle is just another superhero. Like, so it has like all the different superhero powers.
In Iron Man?
Iron Man. I think it's 2. Iron Man 2.
Oh, okay. All right.
When Nick Fury and Tony are sitting. And
at the end.
And they're talking about the Avenger Initiative.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where he's like, Iron Man, yes. Tony Stark, no.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, what? That map.
The
okay,
map
I get
on
what you're
there.
saying now, yeah.
In the middle, they allude to Namor there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. But that was more background stuff than as far as
Easter eggs that can happen.
Easter eggs,
yeah. But I think Namor used to belong to Universal. And eventually they absorbed it back.
Okay.
Like I told you, so Marvel sold off everything to make money.
They did, yeah. Little did they know.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Alrighty.
So yeah, Namor. Do you guys think he's the villain or not? What do you think?
Yes.
Who do you think it could be?
That's a good point too. I kind of feel like they're gonna hold that till you see the movie.
Doctor Doom is my opinion.
Really?
Yeah.
For Black Panther?
Yeah.
You don't think they'll save him for Fantastic Four?
Yeah, but they'll make him the person pulling the strings, manipulating them against each other.
Okay.
The reason why is because his own land of something with an L. Liberia? His land, he's like the king of Liberia, you know what I mean? And he has his home, and that whole city works. Like, they're all prosperous, they all have money, they all have food, like, they work, but they, it's like the ideal, but it's just ran by a madman. Mm-hmm. And then, so Atlantis, Wakanda, and Lafia, or whatever it's called, that they're all their own governments and their own little worlds.
Right.
They all have their own technological advances. Okay. Doctor Doom does go after adamantium. I'm sorry, not adamantium. Vibranium.
Okay.
To create his Doombots.
Oh. Okay.
So he does fight for it, and he attacks both Wakanda and.
So Doctor Doom tries to do what Ultron did.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So I think that's how they can tie it in. It can still be a fight for vibranium. I wonder if Namor and their civilization have their own source of vibranium from when the meteor hit.
I thought that was just on the surface, though.
I mean, majority of the Earth is covered in water. You know what
I mean? I could see how some of them ended up in the water. Yeah, that's a fair point.
I could see a big chunk hitting.
And I think it's just gonna sink all the way down.
Yeah. And that's where they're at.
Fair point.
So I think those are the ways that they can tie that in, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, Doctor Doom is one of the huger big bads, especially in Secret Wars when he takes on the power of the Beyonder. Uh-huh. He like rips Thanos' skull and throat out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
With the spine. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, "Do you have the gauntlet?" He's like, "I don't."
The rip.
Boom!
Yeah.
Just grabbed him from the throat, rips the whole spinal cord and skull out.
Yikes.
It just falls apart.
I don't know. I hope they save him for Fantastic Four.
Think so?
I think so. I think he's too tied into those superheroes than anything else. Because I think once they do bring him in from Fantastic Four, then they can branch him out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Then you can get into the other areas.
I think I hope they bring him in here, not like full blown, but pulling the strings.
At least a mention of him.
More than that, where he's involved, because I don't want him to show up and then get his butt kicked in Fantastic Four. I want us to fear him. I want everyone else to fear him by the time he gets to Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Just how that's the problem with some of our villains. We've never seen Ultron, except for Age of Ultron. You know what I mean? We've never Thanos. We all feared him because he's pulling all these puppets from back behind the scenes through all
since Avengers.
Exactly.
For 10 years. Yeah.
And then we saw the Chitauri, but that was the first time we ever saw the Chitauri, and we're like, "What the heck is this?"
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then Loki. All right, Loki's back. Why the heck is he the villain? All right, he wants world domination. Cool. But that's the biggest downfall I think for the MCU is our villains are not as they're not the Joker.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're not Darkseid. They're not even Steppenwolf wasn't that horrible of a. He was wrecking everybody.
Because you saw him at the first time in Justice League. Yeah.
Okay. And then who else? Even Black Manta, the villain in Aquaman. Yeah. I think he's a great villain. I think our greatest villain outside of Thanos so far has been Killmonger.
Okay, I don't see them on the same level because I feel like Thanos reached further.
Right.
But
he did take over a whole freaking country.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he started shipping out things who knows?
He was going to, yeah.
And I think they'll deal with some of that because he shipped out some of that stuff. I'm sure he had to have. So Wakanda technology is all over the world at the moment.
But I thought they stopped that from getting out.
They stopped some. Oh. But I'm sure we didn't. I'm sure he got some.
It's very easy for them to write, some got out.
Yeah. Easily. Because vibranium's so hard to come about. And for him to have sent them out, that was his idea was to share their resources with all over the world. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he was doing some back-end deals. So that's not the end of the issues that Killmonger's created. I think there's a lot more that's going to be coming.
It's too bad that they killed off Killmonger because I think he could have been a good Black Panther.
Well, he could come back.
How? Oh, multiverse?
I mean, either multiverse or Shuri is a genius. She can create a synthetic herb.
She can't reanimate somebody.
Should not reanimate, but the herb itself, for her to go back into the celestial plane and then bring him back.
Oh, you could do that?
I'm sure they can. He comes back.
It's a simple sentence.
Yeah.
You write it in.
You know what I mean? You write it in. Or
I feel like he had such a great arc as a character and his ending was so solid for his character. I feel like just leave him.
Yeah. Maybe. But if they do, this is why I like the idea of the Avatar of Khonshu being, Moon Knight, and then Tuk-Tuk-Lan being the Serpent Dragon, and then now Bast being the Black Panther. Mm-hmm. If he comes back as the Black Panther, you know what I mean, and dons the suit and takes over, but under the stipulation that he has to be good and not bad, I think Eric Killmonger.
Yeah, but I also don't. I feel like because of Chadwick's death, they don't want anyone to be seen as replacing him.
He wouldn't.
But that's the thing. A lot of people would see that, but they just got somebody else to come in and play Black Panther. That's not cool.
So you think they'll stay the female route? To stay away from.
I almost can guarantee it because I feel like, and plus it's good for the story.
Yeah.
Oh, his sister takes over, which was already going to be the plan.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it.
I guess. Okay. Last question, I think, and then we'll wrap it up. How do you think they're gonna pay tribute to him?
So I feel like it's gonna be a big part of the story, and I see it happening in the beginning, and then I don't think they'll ever leave it. But so they're gonna give the whole. We've already seen that there's a funeral. I want to know how they're gonna say he died.
Yeah, that's what
I wonder what his death is gonna be. I always envisioned him sacrificing himself to save someone.
Okay.
Maybe kids or something.
I mean, I don't think Namor is powerful enough to kill him.
Oh, no, I don't think anybody specifically kills him. I think an act kills him. He pushes somebody out of the way of an explosion, boom, he's dead. Or, I don't know. I think if I see Wakanda Forever for anything, it's going to be that. I want to know how they kill off Black Panther, T'Challa.
Okay. Yeah. I think this is why I talked about it earlier that some of Wakandan tech did get away, and if it did get away, the only thing that can harm vibranium is vibranium.
Right.
Wakanda tech. So, maybe some of the tech that got away, like you said, him sacrificing his life.
Yeah.
I think he would have been on a mission trying to retrieve some of that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe somebody like Dr. Doom was trying to steal that. And in an explosion, that's where he goes.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see when Black Panther Wakanda Forever comes out.
Yep.
We will definitely be shooting an on-location episode for that. Of us going to go see the film.
Absolutely. I cannot wait. It comes
sure.
out November
7th, I believe?
something like that. Yep. And then this Friday is Werewolf by Night.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So we'll do...
It's a little on the darker side of Marvel, huh?
yeah, exactly. We'll do... next couple episodes will be Werewolf by Night, and then we'll do definitely what we really think is going to happen in Black Panther.
All right.
At least our opinion, besides what we talked about today.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, that's the episode, second episode. Thank you guys for joining us. We will be back again next week. Every Wednesday, new episode. So thanks for joining us again. And as always, Geek It, I am with you.
To the end of the line.
That's all right. Thanks, guys.